Man, I'm so anxious to get this thing started. I forgot to turn my OBS freaking volume on. Shout out to Kuram and Eric for alerting me to the fact that I am running my mouth, but you can't hear what I'm. It's just the intro. It's whatever, you know. But yeah, what's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with another Guardians series recap, series preview. As the Guardians, the edge of baseball, I think we have all ever seen. Of baseball, I think we have all ever seen. I mean, they lost 10 in a row. And straight up, not even lying, these dudes couldn't score on a chick at the bar at, happy hour. Like the lights are turning on. Girls are, just easy pickings, to hit on, maybe pick one up, take them back to the room and get nasty. Well, we couldn't even get one of them, right? We couldn't score on one of them chicks that be hanging out on the street corner. It was bad. Possibly the worst. Actually, it was the worst offense in the league. Stats supported it. It was bad. Very bad. Like, it was horrible. Worst offense we have ever seen. So, of course, they travel to Houston to face the AL West leading Astros, who, of course, are coming off a sweep of the Dodgers in LA. Granted, you look at their roster, they're missing some guys, right? Alvarez has been out all year. Pena just got hurt a while back. Not even a week ago. He's just been on the IL for only a week or so. In fact, before this series got underway, Christian Walker went on the paternity list, and Jake Myers was close to coming back. But yeah, they were beat up. They had like 14 or so players on the IL. That's big compared to what other teams have like us. I mean, the Guardians have only like maybe a few. And most of those guys are going to be back soon. Bieber's back within the next month or so. Henches, we'll see about him. David Fry's back, although he sucks, but he's back. It's tough, though, because we've seen how good the Astros can be when they're fully loaded. Straight up. So, that being said, the Guardians went into Houston, and I'll be real. I'll be honest. I wasn't really looking forward to this series. I had no expectations. In my head, I'm thinking, man, just win a game and I'll be happy. Well, let's get into this series, shall we? Game one of the series, of course, I streamed the first two, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these games. Game one, it was Tanner Barbie against Connor Gordon, right? Who is it? Gordon. And I was right the first time. And Bybee, well, got run support. Something he has had a bit of, right? We scored 4 runs for him, top of the 5th. In fact, right before his outing was over, we put up 4 for him. We scored for Bybee. Let's go. But if you watched him against, the Cubs? We did the same thing for him and he blew it. Well, we saw it again. Yep. Yeah, that was not a great outing for him, unfortunately. 4 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks, and 2 homers. And then a 4.35 ERA. Yeah, he's been struggling. We gave him a 4-run lead, and again, he blew it. Just kind of like what happened against the Cubs, right? Gave up 5 runs in that game, though, with 4 walks. This game, though, we limited the walks to only 1, so that's good, I guess. But just the way that it happened, it's like, come on, man, what are you doing? What on earth are you doing, dude? Not even kidding, man. We go to the 4th, right? Nothing happens. 5th inning comes up. Quan singles in a run after 2 back-to-back singles from Will Wilson and Bo Naylor, of all people. Back-to-back singles. Quan singles one, brings one in on a single of his own. And it was on the derpiest base hit ever. A line drive back to the pitcher. Hits him again in the hat. Another pitcher saved by the hat, the brim. Kind of glanced off his head a little bit. That could have been ugly. Luckily, he was all right. He stayed in the game. And then Jose Ramirez, 3-run homer to the Crawford boxes. Made it 4-0. And then literally, no time at all, Bozo Bibee couldn't even get an out. Back-to-back singles for Caratini and Hummel. And then Taylor Trammell, who once upon a time was involved in the Trevor Bauer trade. That's how long he's been technically in the major leagues already. We're talking about the Trevor Bauer trade. Think about how long ago that was. When we got Yasiel Puig, that one. Yep. He was involved in that trade. For Yasiel Puig, I believe. I believe we got, who else did we get from that trade anyway? A few others, but I think that was the trade. Trammell. That's crazy. I think he went to the Mariners or something. I don't remember. He's been around a bit. So he hits a 3-run shot, his first of the year. And then, of course, we get 2 outs. Looking like we're going to get through with the lead. Isaac Paredes homers to left field. Ties the game. And then the funniest part is, right? So, Vogt finally had enough. He lets Bibee blow the lead. Takes out Bibee. Brings in his buddy boy, Matt Fester. Gets the final out. We go to the top of the 6th. Anna Martinez, leadoff double. We've seen this movie before, right? Leadoff base hit. Surely there's score, right? Bing, 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 bing. They do. Yeah. Bo Naylor walked. They brought in Stephen Okert for Colton Gordon. Ryan Rocchio, of all people. 2-run double. Gives us a 6-4 lead. And the Guardians would allow a run in the bottom of the 6th. Victor Caratini homered. But in classic Guardians fashion, they would get a run back of their own, courtesy of David Fry, who hit a solo shot in the top of the 9th to go up by 2. And that's all they needed, because Clase comes in and boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3 inning on 3 straight ground outs. No problem at all. And the Guardians win a game. Oh, full parade, pop bottles. Oh, we're celebrating tonight. Yeah. Ah. So, we win the game. Matt Festa got the win, 2-2, 5.11 ERA. Gordon took the loss. He's 3-2, 4.76 ERA. Clase got his 19th save of the year, 3.20 ERA for our closer. And so we move on to game. Oh, by the way, yeah. Bibee, 4 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks, 2 homers, 4.35 ERA. Gordon in the loss, 5 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 1 walk, 2 Ks, and a homer, 4.76 ERA. And I'll give the bullpen this, right? After Fester came in for an inning in the third, Seawald, Gaddis, and Clase, easy stuff, easy money, no problems. Not bad. Not bad at all. So then it's like, okay, you win the first game. That's cool. Now, do they build off of it? So we go to last night. Again, I streamed it. And my main thing was, is the offense going to show up? Again, we haven't normally gotten consistent offensive performances in back-to-back games. Usually we'll get a big scoring game and then we'll do nothing for like the rest of the week. Facing Hunter Brown of all people, right? He's like one of the lowest ERAs. He's up there with Tarek Skubal. Couldn't score on him. So what do? Because baseball is so awesome. Look at this stat line. 6 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, 3 walks, 3 Ks, 2 homers. Against one of the best pitchers in the American League. Because, of course, Joey Cantillo, to his credit, was rock solid for the most part. He did have some trouble at times, but most of the runs came in 1 inning for them, right? The Guardians got on the board first once again, thanks to yet another Jose Ramirez home run in the first inning. 2-run shot to right field this time. His 16th of the year, back-to-back games with a homer, 2-0. Now, of course, they would respond with a run from Altuve on a sac fly, but that would be all they would get for a while, actually. The Guardians would add another run, courtesy of a Nolan Jones double, making it, 3-1. Daniel Schneemann singled in a run, 2 runs, making it 5-1. It's like, whoa. All right. This is fun. And then top of the 4th, Ryan Rocchio, right? Ryan Rocchio. Solo shot. 6-1. Now, seeing that score in the back of my head, the first thing I think of is that Cardinal game. I'm like, oh no, don't do it to me again. Don't you freaking dare do it to me again. Well, unfortunately, they did it again. Bottom of the 5th, they would score 3, courtesy of Altuve 2-run double, and then Victor Caratini sac fly. Those runs all came off of course, Stephen Vogt's best buddy, Matt Fester. All those runs came off of Fester. Festa the Pesta. And it was a 6-4 lead. And then we would actually hold them down until the 8th. And then Hunter Gad Ass came in and proceeded to finish off the choke by giving up a RBI double to Taylor Trammell. And then, of course, Jose Altuve got it on the fun again. RBI single to tie the game. So then came stress time for your boy on stream. I'm thinking, oh God, are we going to get walked off again? Bottom of the 8th. I'm thinking, oh God, here we go. We better score some runs in the 9th or we're cooked. Now top of the 9th comes up. We do diddly squat. Got an RBI, got a single from Rocchio, but that was it. Of course. So I'm thinking, oh God, here we go. We're in the 9th. Jacob Junis comes in. Biggest innings possibly of the year for him. Oh my God, Tatis commercials. What the heck? Okay. What's up, Daniel? Bam, Daniel. Oh my God. Hey, how about this for Jacob Junis? Right? he essentially had a 1-2-4 inning. Fly out, strike out, a double to Dubon, got Zach Short to strike out, gets through that. So that 10th, this is big for us. Top of the order, technically, was up. Remember, they pinch hit for Nolan Jones. I had a theory that it was because of his ankle, maybe barking at him a little bit, because he had hurt himself before, I think the night prior or whatever, on a slide. So they didn't say anything it was bad. They said he was good to go. But then on a flyout, he kind of looked like he twinged it or something, like he messed it up a little. So they pinch hit Will Wilson for him. And, a sack bunt, move the runner to third. And then, of course, they do what they always do when in this situation. Any team with a functioning brain intentionally walks J-Ram, runners on the corners. Carlos Santana comes up, and we know what he's capable of. This is against Josh Hader, mind you, for the second inning in a row. You usually see that too often, right? But they were really trying to win this game. They brought in the closer back-to-back innings, and it bit him in the ass here. He walks Santana. They pinch hit J-Rod for Daniel Schneemann. Bozo mush brain move by Vogt. J-Rod strikes out, and I will say this. I've never been so happy to see a strikeout in my life. Because the very next batter, Ana Martinez, on a 1-1 pitch, up and in, crushes it to the boxes. Yeah. Grand slam from Ana Martinez. Puts us up 4. And then we go to the bottom 10. Of course, Class A comes in. 1, 2, 3 inning, no problem. Guardians take the series. Kentillo, again, wasn't too bad. 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 7 Ks, 3.79 ERA. Hunter Brown, not great at all. 6 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, 3 walks, 3 Ks, and 2 homers, 2.21 ERA. I know Tigers fans saw that stat line, and they were like, all right, so Skubal really is the best pitcher in the AL now, right, Astro fans? Oh, he kind of is now by default. Because we smoked that dude. Damn. So, Guardians win 10-6. And after not really being able to score, they are up for 17 runs in 19 innings. Out of nowhere. 10 runs, 8 hits for the Guardians, 6 and 11 for the Astros. Jacob Junis gets his second win of the year, 3.79 ERA. He's 2-1. Josh Hader takes his second loss. He's 5-2, 2.38 ERA. So we win the series. And then we get to today's game, or tonight's game, I guess. And it's, of course, Slade Cecconi going up against Walter. Right? Yeah. Now, Walter, we faced him last time. We were able to get to him a little bit. Well, so we start this game off. Juan gets out. And then we get back-to-back jacks from Ana Martinez and J-Ram to put the Guardians up 2-0 off the bat. 2-0 off of Walter. It would be that way all the way up until the 7th. I will say this. Was this the best outing of Slade's freaking season? I think it was. He's been off and on, but my God, when his stuff is good, it is fantastica. It's just been fantastic. Amazing. I mean, my God. I mean, this dude put up how many straight scoreless innings? Because remember, he pitched 7 innings. And if you look, I think they even had him try to go 8. Yeah. They had this dude, I think, try to go 8, actually. They really had him trying to go a full 8 innings. But I mean, by that time, I was like, this dude is running on fumes. He's just trying to power through it. Just couldn't do it. But unfortunately, they would score a couple in that inning. But that's all they would get. It was 4-2, right? The 2 homers was essentially enough. But the backbreaker, bases loaded for the Guardians in the 7th. Big chance for the Guardians to do what they haven't really done a lot this year. And that is put a game almost out of reach with how good Slade was. I mean, J-Ram, they took out Brendan Walter, brought in Bennett Sousa, back-to-back hits for Ramirez and Santana. Then they double steal. Like, wow, they broke out a double steal. Wow. A double freaking steal. Like, I didn't even know that was even in their resume. But I'll take it. Double steal happened. They walked David Fry. And I'm like, oh, of course. Here comes J-Rod. Surely they're going to score here, right? Yeah, they did. Jonathan Rodriguez, 2-run single, making it 4-0. And then in classic Guardians fashion, 3 straight outs because, of course. But that's all they would need. And again, they would give up 2, but that's it. Now, apparently, Gaddis and Clase were down because they had pitched in a couple games in a row. Of course, you don't want to wear them out. It's July, I mean, if you think about it, Clase had essentially pitched 3 straight games. He pitched in that extra innings game against the Tigers where they lost in extras, where Cade blew up. And then Gaddis, he's pitched in back-to-backs. He's been used a lot. They gave him the night off. And Jacob Junis came in. Yeah. Gave up the 2 runs, but that was all he gave up. They bring in SeaWorld. Paul Sewald, J.B. Taylor's favorite player. And he looked like vintage Paul Sewald. Yeah. 1, 2, 3 inning from SeaWorld. We took the Astros to SeaWorld. And they met Shamu. Oh my God. But yeah, 1, 2, 3 inning. And overall, it was a fantastic game from Slade. 7 innings, a 5-hit, 2-run. Of course, those runs were given up by Junis, but they were put on Ciccone because he put the runners on. So 2 runs for Ciccone, 2 earned, 2 walks, 9 Ks for Slade. Man, it was crazy. 3.44 ERA for him. Walter, 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, 7 Ks, and 2 homers allowed. He had retired like 16 or something straight after the 2 homers. And then they take him out, and of course we start beating up on their bullpen. Classic. And Walter now has a 3.98 ERA. So how about that, right? Ciccone's now 4-4, 3.44 ERA. Walter's 1-2, 3.98 ERA. And Sewald got his 2nd save of the year. This is only, I think, his 2nd or 3rd outing since he came back. 4.91 ERA for him. And, yeah, good stuff out of SeaWorld. So, because baseball is weird, the Guardians, who had lost 10 in a row, couldn't score for crap, go into Houston facing the AL West leading Astros, who had swept the Dodgers. They bent them over and gave them the belt. Well, the Guardians took the belt and gave it to the Astros a little bit. Yep. Now, of course, you look at the Astro lineup and everything. It's essentially Altuve and a bunch of AAA guys for the most part. They're heavily carried by Altuve right now because their injuries are they're up there. Again, they're one of the largest IL rosters in the majors. Most players on the IL up there. They legit have a lineup's worth of players on the IL. Legit. But eventually they're going to get some guys back. Walker should be back soon. Pena should be back eventually. I don't know if Alvarez is going to be back. Myers. Now, here's the thing about Jake Myers, right? This is sad. He was supposed to come back tonight. He was in the lineup and everything. Took batting practice. Must have been feeling good. I kid you not. The dude goes out to the field to set up for the game. Like, they're blowing the like the horn that they have there at Lincoln Park, as they're getting ready. They're getting ready. The fans are hyped up. They're like, and now, Houston Astros. Ah. The players are running out there, Jake Myers gets just past the infield. And if you watch him, he's like jogging, pacing himself. He's like, okay, let's go. I'm ready. Ow, 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 ow. He was pretty much limping. And it's like, God. Yeah. Didn't even get to his station. So I guess he wasn't ready to go. And they had to cart him to the back. And hopefully everything's all right with him. I'm surprised they brought him back. I mean, there's only, a couple days left until the All-Star break. He could have just held him out. You got a comfortable lead in the division. Don't push him. Don't bring him back early and have him get hurt like he kind of just did. Sucks, though, because the lineup was already submitted and you couldn't make any alterations. You couldn't add anybody different. That put Espada in a very bad spot. They did their thing, right? So, Guardians get the sweep. And now, heading into the series against the White Sox, they are 4.5 out of a wild card spot. And all of a sudden, they're not so dead after all. For the most part. They're a game back of the Angels. And they're right up there with the Rangers and even the Twins in Kansas City. And the Royals have the Mets tomorrow. The Twins go to Chicago. They face Chicago one more time today, June 10th. Sorry, July 10th. Yeah. So that'll be tough. And then, of course, Boston faces Tampa on the 10th. Now, the thing about the White Sox is, of course, they're a bona fide AAA lineup. We should, keyword, should be able to take at least 3 or 4. The way I see it, we take 3 or 4. You go into the break, 2 games under 500 in a great spot, and you look what we got coming up after the break. I think they have a legit chance to get back over 500, and all of a sudden, you start thinking, could they be buyers? My fear is they've already set their minds on selling, and they're going to do nothing. Which they could do stuff. There's holes to fill on this team. you could use a solid bat in right field. Will Brennan's out for the year. You could always go get a nice right field bat, right? Maybe a righty bat or something, because we could use it. Maybe a utility guy. I don't know, something good. Give me something good, Chris Antoinetti. And also, you could probably use a bullpen arm or maybe a starter, depending on what happens with Shane Bieber, right? Whenever he comes back. But they might not do anything. It's really hard to say. So now, let's take a look at the series coming up against the Chicago White Sox, the Southsiders. And this is funny because, if you remember, barely a week ago, the Guardians were on the north side. Well, now they're going to the south side to face the Sox. And Chicago, obviously, not a very good team. It's pretty clear at this point. But you can't let your series against the Astros keep fog up your mind and think, oh yeah, we're on cloud nine. You got to lock in for this series against the Sox. Because you look at the Sox team, up and down their lineup, they're pretty much a bona fide AAA team. They have a few good major league hitters, but nobody that should scare the bejesus out of you like a guy like Altuve. This is definitely not the Houston Astros. For sure. So game one will be Logan Allen against Jonathan Cannon. Allen 5-7, 4.07 ERA, 65 Ks against Cannon, who is 3-7, 4.50 ERA, 56 Ks. Faced him earlier this year. Of course, we beat him. Overall, again, I'm not going to use stat mutes for pitchers we've already faced. I only do that for pitchers that we haven't faced yet. Now, Cannon's coming off a win over Colorado. 5 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. So yeah, looks solid against weak-ass Colorado. And Logan Allen, of course, we all saw what he did against Detroit. He looked good, but one bad pitch is all it takes. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 5 Ks. That was the one game where Torkelson, I believe, went yard. 2 hits, 1 of them went over the fence. That's all it took. He's lost 3 in a row around there. He needs to get going here, and get back in the win column. Hopefully the offense helps him out this time. Hope they didn't use up all their runs against Houston. The best part is, our bona fide AAA lineup should be comfortable with their AAA level pitching. After all, this is the same lineup that swept these guys earlier in the year. Yeah. So, comparing the two, against Allen, Benintendi has an RBI, Sosa has 2 RBIs, and that's it. Again, Allen, 5-7, 4.07 ERA, 65 Ks. Cannon, 3-7, 4.50 ERA, 56 Ks. And against Cannon, Nolan Jones has a home run and 2 RBIs. Kwan has a homer and 3 RBIs. And that's actually it. Yeah, that's it. So I expect a big series out of those two for sure. Now we move on to the game on the 11th. It will be Gavin against Shane Smith. I remember Shane Smith was actually carving us up until late when we actually started getting to him a little bit. And hopefully we can do what we did against Hunter Brown. Beat him up a bit, right? Beat him up, run his pitch count up to oblivion, and get after that weak-ass bullpen of theirs. And I'm going to need Gavin to do what he did against Skubal. Shove. Shove like there's no tomorrow. Pretend you're facing Skubal again. Because I'm telling you, we do that again. If Gavin does that again, we should win. Now, Shane Smith is coming off 3 straight losses. He got beat up pretty good by Colorado. 4 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, 2 Ks. He's given up 5+ in his last 3 starts against solid teams. Arizona and the Dodgers scored 5 and 6. And then, of course, the Colorado Rockies put up 5 on him. In Colorado, though. Now, actually, let's go back. Yeah, his first start, he did not allow a run. And we still beat him. You got a no decision, though. So, you can definitely get to him. That's for sure. By the way, that was also, I believe, his second start as a major leaguer. Yeah. So it should be fun. Now, Gavin, of course, he's coming off a masterclass, generational gem piece from him. 6 innings, 1 hit, 3 walks, 8 Ks, no decision because Bo Naylor can't feel the ball. Bo Naylor just couldn't plant his ass on the ground and smother a baseball. If Bo Naylor drops his ass on the ground to smother that ball and keep it in front of him, we probably win 1-0. It's actually sad. He's 1-1 in his last 7 games. And if you're wondering when was his last win, well, let's actually take a look now. He hasn't won a game since June 1st. And that was also a gem out of him. 6 2/3, 1 hit, 2 runs. He also had a low-key gem piece against the Giants on June 19th. Got a no decision, though. 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs. No decision. So, see if you can build off of that, because usually when he posts, when he just a gem, follows it up with a low-key dud. So I'm gonna need him to cook again. But yeah, Gavin 5-4, 3.61 ERA, 90 Ks. Shane Smith 3-7, 4.20 ERA, 76 Ks. Against Williams, only Benintendi has 2 RBIs, and against Smith, obviously, we didn't score on him, so yeah, nobody has really anything. That's tough. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. And then we go to game number 3 of this 4-game series, as it will be Bibee and Burke facing off on Saturday afternoon at 4:10 p.m. Hey, what's up, Jacob? Yeah, the Guardians decided to sweep the Astros. Of course they did. Classic. So while that's loading up, let's pull up Burke and Bibee. Of course, we saw what Tanner did. Got him 4 runs of support. Blew it in the next inning. Bibee's 4-9, 4.35 ERA, 90 Ks. Burke 4-8, 4.40 ERA, 75 Ks. Against Bibee, only Michael A. Taylor has a home run and an RBI against him. That might have been when he was with, I want to say, the Royals. I don't think that was with the White Sox, but I could be wrong. And against Burke, John Kenzie Noel, 1 RBI, and Carlos Santana, a home run and an RBI, and that's it. Sean Burke coming off a loss against Toronto on the 7th. 5 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, 3 walks, 2 Ks. And of course, Tanner, we all saw what he did. Now, luckily for him, he got a no decision against Houston. But yeah, he has this thing where he likes to give up response runs after we give him a lead. We also need him to kind of dig down deep and go deep into a game too. That would really help. Now to wrap up the series, it'll be Joey Cantillo, also coming off a low-key great game out of him against Houston, going up against an old friend in Aaron Savale. Now, if you're wondering, maybe you haven't been paying attention, you're like, wait a minute, how did Aaron Savale get on the White Sox? Where have I been? Well, I'd say it's been about a month or so ago, and he was on the Brewers, and the Brewers were talking about putting him in the bullpen. He didn't like that very much. He's like, I don't want to go to the pen. You mean? So they're like, well, I mean, do you want out or something? I mean, what do you want us to do? He's like, I want out. Trade me. So they're like, all right, bet. We're going to trade you to baseball hell in Chicago. Go to the White Sox. Have fun, buddy. So yeah, our first half will end against old friend Aaron Savale as Joey Cantillo 1-0, 3.79 ERA, 48 Ks, goes up against Aaron, who's 1-6 with a 5.17 ERA, 33 Ks. Against Cantillo, they have nothing on him. And against Savale, Kwan has an RBI, and Santana has an RBI. Yeah, so this would be an interesting one. This would be a very interesting matchup. But that's it for the first half. After this, now Aaron Savale is coming off a loss against Toronto, where he got shellacked. 4 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, 0 strikeouts. He didn't strike out a batter at all. And on the flip side, well, Joey Cantillo had a pretty damn good game. No decision again, of course, unfortunately. 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 7 Ks against Houston. Great game out of him. Just it was in line for the win, but they kind of blew it. Sucks. Yeah, they tied the game, and then that was it. So we still won, but still. Now, historically, against the Guardians, Aaron Savale is 1-0 with a 1.64 ERA, 6 Ks, and 2 appearances. His last one came last year with Milwaukee. He actually won. Went 6 innings of 4-hit shutout baseball. Now, previous to that, he faced us 1 year with the Rays, fresh off that trade, of course, where we got Kyle Manzardo, who, by the way, should be back for this series. We'll see, though. 5 innings of 7-hit, 2-run ball in 2023. And, yeah. Let me see about this game. I don't think this was the game that we shellacked him, right? We lost this game. That's right. We scored 3 in the 9th to tie it up. And then they scored 1 in the bottom of the 9th. That's right. Yeah. That's right. I remember that now. And then the finale in that game, in that series, we won 9-2. That's right. Tanner Bybee against Zach Eflin. Well, no, that was 2024. That's right. Last year. That's right. Yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for this one, guys. And as far as me streaming these games, I'm going to probably do at least 1 or 2 of them. I'm probably going to do the game tomorrow. I'm not touching the Tanner start. Hell no. That fool got to show me that he can actually be a serious pitcher before I stream another start of his. I've done now, I think, both of his starts, and he blew both games. I'm not falling for it again. So I'm not going to do his next start. I'm going to see what happens this start against Chicago. And then that's it. So I'll be live tomorrow for sure, though. Logan against Cannon. I'll be live for that one. And then I'll probably go live for Gavin's start, I think. Yeah. I'll go live for Gavin's start. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Because that'll be a 4 o'clock start. That's on Friday. So I'll do that. I'll probably go live for the next 2. And then we'll see. We'll go from there. I might stream Tanner, but he's on thin ice with me at this point. So, with that being said, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this one. I will see you all tomorrow night for Guardians and White Sox at Wright Field. Hopefully the Guardians can continue their winning streak. Can't believe I'm saying that now. And hopefully they can end this first half on a positive note. And, go into the All-Star break feeling good. So, with that being said, shout out to everybody who tuned in. And have a good rest of your night. And I'll see you guys in about... Well, I'll see you guys at about 8 o'clock or so tonight. Go Guardians. I'm Crazy Dog. Big sweep tonight. If I had a broom, I would break it out. I don't really feel like going to get one for this, But yeah, that's going to wrap it up. Shout out to Eric, Karam, Daniel, and Jacob for showing up. And see you guys later. Go Guardians. I'm Crazy Dog. And I'm out. Bye-bye. Yeah, big win. It's a sweep. I'm feeling kind of sweepy tonight. Ooh. Keep it going. Okay? Yeah. Bye-bye. Yeah.